Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about cottagecore books. This is just a selection of some of the ones I'm going to be talking to you about today. So yes, these are classic books to read if you love cottagecore. I see a lot of this is what to read if you're into cottagecore videos, but they're not necessarily the most literary books. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. These are all very literary books if you're a reader and you want to read more classic fiction, but you want to start with sort of light, cottagey, maybe English countryside-y books. You know, people in their homes, domestic life. These are some books for you. Is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I mean, I took this as an example, but really any Jane Austen will do. I've read quite a few Austens: Pride and Prejudice and Sensibility, Northanger Abbey, Mansfield Park. So I've read quite a few of them, and I would say out of all those, this is the most cottagecore-y. It's about a relatively poor family who then comes into money, if I remember rightly, but not like. The reason I like this one as cottagecore is because it's much more about families. It's quite Little Women-like, I would say, which leads me very nicely onto my next one. Little Women. I feel like everybody knows this is a cottagecore book, so I'm not going to ramble on about it. If you're looking for family, life, women living in a little cottage by themselves, this is the one. You have to read it, and it's really not difficult to get through. It's a very pleasant read, and you can even see, which adds the cottagecore, you can see a little grass stain. Can you see that? On my book where I've been reading it outside. The Wind in the Willows. I mean, this particular version, if you want to get into cottagecore vibes, this version will get you there because it has the most open to the only page in the whole book without illustrations. It has the most beautiful illustrations. Let me find you a good one. So there's illustrations like this on every page. Is my hair on fire? I'm very nervous about that. It's just a very beautiful book. It's a children's book, but you know, you can very much read it as an adult and appreciate it. The language isn't easy. It's not like a child would read it very happily and know what the hell is going on. You actually do have to be quite literate to understand what's going on. Yeah, it's a beautiful book set in the English countryside. It's about, you know, it's these people. What's the opposite? Yeah, it's anthropomorphized animals, and they represent different kinds of people, and it's just a really cute story. That's a must, I would say. Captain Corelli's Mandolin. Now, I feel like this one should come with a warning. This, unlike the others, is not necessarily a fluffy light book. It's a lot heavier. It's sad. It's about war, but it's also beautiful. It's about an island in Italy. It's about one of the most romantic love stories ever told, and it's one of my favourite books of all time. If you're looking for something to just dip your toes into cottagecore, the Flower Fairy books by Sicily Mary Barker. They are full of little poems and little illustrations all about the countryside. So, and they have one for every season. I do have the whole collection at uni, but not here. So for example, this is all an autumn book, so you could take The Song of the Beech Nut Fairy. Oh, the great and happy beech, glorious and tall, changing with the changing months, lovely in them all. Lovely in the leafless time, lovelier in green, loveliest with golden leaves and the sky between. When the nuts are falling fast, thrown by little me, tiny things to patter down from a forest tree. I messed it up at the end. But yeah, it's got the most gorgeous illustrations in and lovely little poems to make you love the countryside and feel like you're part of that. The Thorn Bird is a book about a family who moves to Australia. I can't think what era it is. Is it the 1700s, 1800s? Something like that. They move to Australia, and it's about a love story again, and it's about them looking after this massive sort of farm in Australia, and another sad one at times, but ultimately a happy story. And the main girl in it, Maggie, is a cottagecore queen. She is exactly how you would imagine a cottagecore heroine. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, again, so much a classic that I feel like is kind of cheating to recommend it to you. But I think in terms of Cottagecore, it's about Missouri, is that where this is? Did I make that up? It's about the river down the Mississippi on a raft, and it's about the people that he meets, and there are various cottages. Good book smell. The last two that I want to recommend, the first one is Adventures of a Young Naturalist by David Attenborough. I think you should read this. It's a really good story if you love David Attenborough, because if you're English, who doesn't? And it's just about his journeys across the world seeing different animals. And the last one is my favourite book of all time, Gone with the Wind. I don't know if it counts as Cottagecore necessarily, and another like heart-wrenching one, but definitely recommend it. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Same with Rex. I will see you next time.